Hi everyone, my name is Derek too. Thank you for watching this video. In this video I am going to show you an application that I developed, how the application is used and why is the application useful. Before I go ahead and talk about the application, first I want to talk about the data that I am working with and analyze the data and have a good understanding of the data. So on the screen right now, as you can see, I am working with accounts, account information, as well as account amount. And I am working with three accounts. The first account is highlighted in yellow, the second account is highlighted in white, and the third account is highlighted in blue. And each of these accounts have its own account information as well as have its own account amount. And account number 1 have 4 rows of account information from row 2 to row 5. Account number 2 also have 4 rows of account information from row 6 to row 9. Account number 3, however, have 5 rows of account information from row 10 to row 14. So because we only have 3 accounts, in this case there is a maximum of 5 rows of accounts of information. But if we were to have tens of thousands of accounts, we would have a lot more rows of account information, because when you have so many accounts, you have a variety of information that comes in different types, sizes, as well as formats. So anyway, what we want to do with these accounts is that we want to put each account into a single row, and right now I am going to do it manually. So I'm going to copy the first account, I'm going to paste special and transpose, and then I'm going to copy the account information as well as the account amount. And now account number 1 is in a single row, row 17. And I am going to do the same thing for account number 2, which is copy, paste special, and transpose, and I'm going to bring the account information as well as the account amounts down. And now account number 2 is also in a single row, row 18. And now I'm going to do this for account number 3, copy and paste special and transpose, and then I'm going to bring the account information as well as the account amount to the single row. And now account number 3 is also in a single row, row 19. So now we have 3 accounts in 3 single rows. Before, we have 3 accounts in more than 3 single rows. And so you might be wondering why we want to put each account into a single row. And the reason why is because it makes it easier for us to see each account as well as do any kind of analysis and or reporting with these accounts. And the other thing is that it makes it easier for us to filter and sort these accounts if they are in a single row. So those are the few reasons why we want to put each account into a single row. And so right now we are doing it manually. We are putting 3 accounts into a single row manually, and doing 3 accounts, putting each of them into a single row manually is not so much of a problem, because it's only 3 accounts. We could pretty much do this in less than a minute. But if we were to work with tens of thousands of accounts and putting each account into a single row, doing it manually is going to be a big problem. So is pretty labor intensive as well as time consuming to do it manually. So we're trying to avoid it, and so I created an application that would help with this task and make it more efficient. So but the thing about the application is that it needs for us to identify when each account starts and when each account ends. So and right now I am going to manually identify when each account starts and when each account ends. So I'm going to insert a column to the left of column A, and mark X in column A when each account starts and when each account ends. So I'm going to mark X in row 2, row 6, as well as row 10. So row 2 is when account number 1 starts, row 6 is when account number 2 starts, and row 10 is when account number 3 starts. Doing marking X of when each account starts and when each account ends for 3 accounts is not so much of a problem. We could easily see when each account starts and when each account ends, and we could manually put X quite easily. But if we were to work with tens of thousands of accounts, and putting X when each account starts and when each account ends is very labor intensive as well as time consuming, and we don't want to do that. And so there are a couple of ways to avoid doing it manually, and I'm going to show you one of the way. And so right now I'm going to insert another column to the left of column A. And before we go ahead and solve this problem, first we need to analyze column C and have an understanding of column C. And based on looking at 3 of these accounts, I know when each account starts and when each account ends. So anytime an account starts is when the left 10 characters of a cell in column C is account numbers. So for example, account number 1 starts when cell C2's left 10 character is account numbers, as you can see right here. And also for the account number 2 also is left 10 character is account number is when account number 2 starts, which is in cell C6. And account number 3 also is the 10 left character is account numbers is when an account starts, and in this case is cell C10. So now that we know when each account starts and when each account ends, we could go ahead and write this formula. And so the formula goes like this: equals if left cell C2 and 10 equals account numbers, then mark X, otherwise leave it blank. So what this formula is saying and is actually doing is that it's saying that if the left 10 characters of cell C2 is account numbers, then mark cell A2 X, otherwise leave it blank. So now I'm going to close parenthesis and put this formula into effect. And as you can see, cell A2 right now is marked X, and the reason why is because cell C2's left 10 character is account numbers, and that's why cell A2 is now marked X. The formula right now is only in cell A2, and so we want to capture all the accounts right now. So by capturing all the accounts, we need to drag this formula down to cell A14. And as you can see, column A is now marked X when an account starts. So it's marking X in row 2, row 6, as well as row 10. And row 2 is when account number 1 starts, row 6 is when account number 2 starts, and row 10 is when account number 3 starts. So now we don't need column B, so I'm going to get rid of it. And so these are the information we need for our application to run. So I'm going to bring these information to our application and run it. And what the application is going to do is that it's going to align each account into a single row without us manually having to do it. So this way is much quicker and more efficient. As you can see right now, the result is that there are 3 accounts, and each account is in a single row. And so we're gonna right now we're gonna copy these results and bring it back to the original account and match them side by side and see if they are correct and accurate. So I'm gonna bring him back here, And as you can see right now, there are 3 accounts, so there are 3 single rows. Account number 1 is in row 16, account number 2 is in row 17, account number 3 is in row 18, and so the previous original account is here, and so right now we're looking at it side by side and see if they are a match. And as I see it, they are a match. As you can see, subject is here and subject is here, and as you can see, the amount match exactly as it is. So 2.112.25, 2.112.25 is also here. 3294.70, 3294.70 is also here. 168.50, 168.50 is also here. So anyway, so all these the result match correctly to the original accounts, and so right now I'm gonna conclude this video and say thank you for watching. My name is Derek Tu. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to contact me. My email address is at the end of this video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.